Hello, and welcome to Viewpoints, Dominion DMS's video podcast series where we highlight our vendor partners. Today, I am with Annie Julien, sales lead at MenuMetric, and I am Sharon Kitzman, president of Dominion DMS. Annie, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Sharon. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, we're thrilled to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and MenuMetric.
Yes, thank you. So MenuMetric has been around for 12 plus years. We're based in the Eau Claire, Wisconsin community. So not everyone thinks tech when they think Wisconsin, but we've got a great base there. Everything and everyone that we do is based out of that town. I've been with MenuMetric since 2017. We are very close to the Twin Cities metro area. I live in Minneapolis, about an hour and a half from Eau Claire. So we've got everything hubbed in one area, which makes it kind of cool and unique. We're very close-knit family.
Excellent. So you think cheese and tech, right?
Well, yes, those definitely go hand in hand. Maybe a little bit of crackers and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we're just wrapping up almost our first week of April. I trust that MenuMetric had a successful Q1 coming out of NADA.
We sure did. Yeah, it's been an exciting time for us. I started with MenuMetric, like I said, 2017 is the very first support specialist they ever had when it was me and about 4 people. So we've grown quite a bit since then. It's been a wonderful journey. I grew into the director of support position when we added a team of people, and now I've moved into lead the sales team. So quite a cool transition that just started in 2023. We're excited to see what's to come. We've got strong roots in the auto industry is kind of where we started, but we've now expanded quickly into RV, power sports, and marine as well. So lots of different spaces that we touch and help. F&I is really our specialty, and we provide a platform that gives them every tool they could need in that department.
Great. You know, I started in the DMS business as a support representative.
Really?
As well. It was in a different millennium, but you know, one of the things that I think has benefited me from starting in that type of a role is really understanding the dealer's business from the ground up. You get all sorts of questions and have to figure out a way to help your clients succeed. So it's a quick way to learn the industry for sure.
It is. Oh, that's awesome. I love that we have that commonality.
I also remember thinking, oh, this is a really hard job. But then at the end of the day, I log out of my phone and that was it, right? There was no email to follow up on or voicemails or texts or anything else. So.
Oh yeah, so many tools nowadays to track what everybody's needs are.
Times change. Well, give us maybe a couple of examples of how the MenuMetric solution provides a unique value to dealers.
Yes, great question. So we really pride ourselves on support. I know we just talked a little bit about that, but that does set us apart first and foremost from the other menu companies out there. We care very much about our users. They matter to us, and we put their needs first every single day. So every team member, including developers that join the MenuMetric family, we put them through a 2-day training seminar all about how to be an F&I manager. So they learn what it's like to live in those shoes. They learn what it's like to have the pressure of a customer asking you questions, and they really understand how that software is being used at the ground level. That gives us a very unique perspective to bring into that space so that we can get our boots on the ground and actually help those dealers with what they're using it for every day. So kind of unique to us, I think.
That's great. Because, you know, technology can evolve and change, but if you don't have that core knowledge within your support team to help the dealers, it's gonna be a struggle for any business.
I agree. Even the developers kind of understanding how to interface things in a way that makes sense to users and what they're using it for is really cool. So
that's right. So being focused in F&I, your clients, the F&I managers, are probably surrounded by technology, right? Whether that's a CRM system that their sales team is using, or maybe a desking system, and certainly the DMS. At Dominion DMS, when we think about all the software that goes into a dealership these days, it's a little overwhelming, I think, for the stitch it all together. But as you, in your role at MenuMetric, think about the broad ecosystem of solutions that your clients use, what can we do better, our two companies, to make it easier for our common client, the dealer?
I love that you asked that. I think that the DMS and the menu company can and should be like best friends in the process. We really are making it an ease of use for F&I managers to grab that information from the DMS and accurately and quickly get it into our side so they can work through that sales process and finish things back up with what they need to do. So I think putting us together is really important. The collaboration of maybe even getting our programming teams to come together and understand each other's needs, whether it's updating calculations on taxes and fees and making sure we balance and match correctly, to alleviate any of that kind of stress at the ground level, but even just to continue to understand the needs that you're seeing from the DMS side and compared to the needs that we're seeing, and come together to find good solutions. I think just getting an idea of what the other companies in your industry need, what their clients need, helps us kind of get out of our own lane and not stay too narrow, right? We can understand each other's needs and maybe collaborate more and come together.
It's a great idea. For years, we've had a client advisory board that guides us with our roadmap on the application side, but there's really no reason why we can't do the same on the partner side and keep collaborating together.
Yeah, have a little regular call once in a while and talk about needs and how we can fit them. That'd be great.
Right. Excellent. So our industry is constantly evolving, right? Whether it's the dawn of electric vehicles, which everyone's talking about, or if I look back historically, the pandemic, the chip shortage, the labor shortage. Now we've got labor or interest rates climbing again. As you and your team sit down and think about your strategies, maybe features, maybe services that you're going to offer to dealers so that they could take advantage of some upside in the industry and the economy, or potentially insulate themselves from any downside. Anything on the horizon there that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, definitely. So aside of our current versions of MenuMetric that you can use as a presentation tool, a rating and contracting tool, even all the full reporting that we already offer, we have not only an in-person paper and tablet menu solution, but we have a remote textable one as well. With the popularity of online purchases, we know that F&I software needs to be able to adapt to that new environment, but we don't want to cut the finance manager out of that picture. We want to make sure everyone comes together because people buy from people, right? Not from devices. So we want to make sure we keep that human connection. So having a remote textable menu, we have one currently. We're always making cool improvements to it and taking advice on how to make it better to go into the future. We call it Menu Mobile. Really cool. It's taken off on all sides of the industry, whether it's auto, marine, RV, all that. And we are aggressively going after digital retailing as well. That's been the big question over the last maybe 6 months to a year, is what do you have to offer in that area? So within the next year, we expect to be able to release some really cool stuff in that area too.
So tell me a little bit more about the end consumer experience with mobile menu. They would get a text with a menu, or?
Yeah, great question. So the finance manager puts together the menu based on what they think the customer needs for protections for that vehicle. And then when they text it to the customer, they get a little link, they click it with their finger, it opens up the browser, and they have what's called the protection portal. They can surf through the different products that were chosen for them. They can watch videos, they can read brochures, they can check out actual material. And even the finance manager could call them during the process and say, hey, let me walk through this with you on your own phone, even if you're not here. Let's talk about it. Or they could call them after the customer has done some surfing. There's a place for you to select the things that you may want to buy and say, I want to be protected with this. I'd like to be protected with that. And so there's some real intention behind that protection mentality. And they decide what they want. It remotely sends those choices back to the dealership, so they're ready to create the contracts right inside MenuMetric and then remotely sign those contracts as well. So it was kind of born of the COVID times, and we realized that there's much more use for it for offsite customers.
Very cool, and it sounds like you're well down the path to digital retailing.
Yeah, so we're very close. We've got a lot of cool stuff we're working on. Yeah, it's going to be neat.
Congratulations. We believe that we should be not only providing the best DMS to our clients, but also one that integrates better to all those unique systems that are out there, whether it's a choice by the dealer to use something like MenuMetric, or even sometimes something that's kind of forced on the dealer by their OEM or state association. If you, looking from an outsider into a DMS business, had any advice for me and my team, what would that be?
Goodness. I don't know if I'm well suited to give you technical advice, right? I'm kind of more on the people side of the business. I know our software very well. And I think if there's any real desire and need of the DMSs that I've seen out there, keep it clean, keep it simple, and keep it modern when it comes to your interface. I think any general advice I could give to a company overall might be more along the lines of, how they serve their customers. So work to serve your customers first and foremost every day. That's what we've built the backbone of MenuMetric on, and it's taken us really far, and I know it'll carry us into the future as well. The customer experience, we feel, is really the heart of any company. The customer experience has to be valued and constantly kept at the forefront of your mind, whether you're a programmer in your interface or you're thinking about your support team's interactions with your daily clients. That heart of your company can't be erased if you put a footprint of good customer service and experience in their minds. So that'd be the best advice I think I could give.
Excellent. No, I think customer first is always good advice. And sometimes any of us, right?
Yeah. Oh,
environment that we're in can get lost from that. So it's a great reminder. Thank you.
I agree.
Are there, or is there, excuse me, any advice that you would like to share with dealers who are watching this or listening to this podcast, who might be considering the purchase of a solution from MenuMetric, maybe how to get a hold of you or how to navigate your website or?
Yes, most definitely. So of course we have MenuMetric.com, which you can go and surf around and check out all the different vendors that we integrate with and all that stuff. But I would say that the biggest benefit is that we have a tool to fit any dealership's needs, whether you're a large one, a small one, you've got several stores, we can fit anyone's bucket of needs, I feel, with the solutions that we have. We're ready to collaborate and make sure that we're taking things at your store to the next level with the tools that we have, whether it's reporting and just a little bit of coaching on how to really work the software and get the most out of it. We can do demos for you anytime. So you can go to sales@menumetric.com and just email us directly. That mostly comes right to me. I'll be happy to jump on and say hello and show you what we have and see how we can come together for you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Well, as we wrap up our session with Annie from MenuMetric today, we're in the auto industry. Annie, do you like cars?
Yes, I do like cars. I may drive a mom mobile Mazda, with my kid and everything, but I like cars. Also.
All right. Is there a favorite car that's out there in your future? Maybe something you aspire to someday?
Oh goodness, that's such a great question. Would you mind if I reversed it a little bit and brought it back to a car that I love from my past when I was a kid?
Absolutely.
Okay. One that sticks out in my mind was my dad, when I was young, talking elementary school, maybe even younger, had a Jeep CJ4, and it was the coolest thing. It was like a blue color, and I'll never forget memories of, I live in Minnesota, so our months to use that are pretty limited, but when it would get warm enough, we'd pull that top off and we'd drive around the lake, and I just remember the way it felt in my hair and the wind. It was such an experience, and I think that's why automobiles are such a unique business to be in, no matter what side of it you're on, because it's so tied to who we are as people. We're in them so much every day. We spend so many hours in that car, and they can be tied, just like mine was, to an amazing memory as a child or whatnot. It's an accomplishment in life sometimes to be able to purchase what you want. So cars are really kind of a resemblance of who we are, which I think is really neat.
I agree. They mark time in our history, as you just indicated, back to your childhood and your first car, getting your driver's license, whatever it is. It's definitely a purchase that marks a time in your life. So thank you for that memory. That was really cool. I live in South Florida. I just kind of moved here in the last 4 or 5 months. And I think the thing that I'm missing most right now is that change of seasons from the Midwest, that first day where you roll the windows down, or I guess push the button these days, to put the windows down on that nice spring day where everything's kind of popping and you're driving around town, or as in your case, around the lake. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, Annie, I've really appreciated your time today. I know our dealers will appreciate understanding more about MenuMetric and the myriad of solutions that are available in your portfolio. And so if you'd like to reach out to Annie, please do visit that website that she quoted earlier, or email sales@menumetric.com, and I'm sure she'll get back to you quickly. Annie, thank you for being here with us today.
Well, thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate the opportunity. I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.